Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from, and I like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today is Monday, January 8th, 2024, Missile Monday. And I have this article from Nikkei Asia, and it says, U.S. rushes to revive nuclear weapons industry as global tensions mount. So I'm just going to go into this article, bring out a few scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. And as you can see, the U.S. is pretty much, scrambling, trying to, get their nuclear arsenal together, because they see that, Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, these various countries are testing their nuclear weapons because they're ready to destroy this place, man. So it says, while China is bolstering its nuclear capabilities, the U.S., the first country to produce atomic weapons in 1945 and the world's top economic and military superpower, is facing a deeply worrying situation that is underscored by a site in the south of the nation that at first glance looks like a desolate chemical plant, but yellow signboards here and there reveal what it really is. One of them reads, "This facility is under the supervision of the Atomic Weapons and Special Nuclear Materials Rewards Act." When the reporter drove through the forest of Aiken County, South Carolina last year, the Savannah River site, a facility that opened in the early 1950s during the Korean War, came into view with its numerous pipelines and tanks. The roughly 800 square kilometer compound is about the same size as New York City and houses 5 disused nuclear reactors. The SRS was virtually the country's sole producer of plutonium and tritium for nuclear weapons, something it did until the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. Now, this remnant of the Cold War is coming back to life. The U.S. House Budget Committee last June approved the Department of Energy's draft budget for fiscal 2024. The SRS is part of the DOE, Department of Energy, with the latter overseeing the management of nuclear weapons. The budget earmarked $19.1 billion for boosting atomic weapons productions and stockpiles, with a focus on modernizing so-called plutonium pits, a key component in these weapons that actually causes a nuclear explosion. So, they have, an aerial view of one of these plants. It says the SRS began using surplus plutonium for peaceful purposes in the 2000s. It was supposed to be converted into a plant to produce mixed oxide fuel, often known as MOX, from reprocessed uranium and plutonium. However, the plan was frozen due to a budget overrun. The Donald Trump administration took notice of the half-built MOX plant and decided to start operating the plant by 2030 as a weapons factory that would produce 50 plutonium pits a year. The administration of President Joe Biden has inherited the plan and quietly started upgrading and expanding the production equipment. Reaction among the local community has been mixed. The plan needs to Slakia, the plan leads to environmental pollution and a huge waste of taxpayers' money. We have too many nuclear weapons. Why do we need more? Tom Clements, a local activist who has been monitoring the facility for years and asking the government to disclose information on the site, told Nikkei, says he estimates that the construction cost for the pit production facility will be $20 billion, including the amount already spent on the MOX plant. It will be the most expensive building in U.S. history, far surpassing the cost for One World Trade Center, Clements said, referring to a mammoth skyscraper in New York City. The U.S. has a pressing reason to speed up pit production. The government is testing its nuclear stockpile components and figuring out how to make 50-year-old weapons last longer, explains Joseph Kent, director of National Atomic Testing Museum, who is an expert on nuclear security. The U.S. possesses more than 5,000 nuclear warheads, but many of them were manufactured during the Cold War. Plutonium pits, which are mounted on the warheads, may have deteriorated over time. Washington considers replacing them with new ones to be an urgent task, as the country has no plant that can mass produce the pits. Expectations for the SRS are high. On top of that, China is rapidly catching up. The U.S. Defense Department estimates that China will possess over 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030, more than double its current 500. If the U.S. takes too much time replacing the plutonium pits, China could overtake it by deploying state-of-the-art weapons. There is an economical hurdle too. This reporter saw an unexpected name near South Carolina's capital of Columbia when he came across the Westinghouse Columbia site. This is a fuel processing facility run by the nuclear technology company Westinghouse Electric. The former subsidiary of Toshiba went under in 2017 and is now in talks to join a major Canadian mining group. Despite the global headwinds against nuclear power, Westinghouse is said to be optimistic. Westinghouse never fails to find itself in the winning circle. It has made a full comeback, Clements said. Based on information disclosed by Washington, he now believes that some of the fuel rods that Westinghouse produces in Columbia for commercial nuclear power plants are taken to the SRS by the DOE to help extract tritium to make nuclear weapons more powerful. The DOE and Westinghouse did not respond by the time of publication. Businesses with close ties to the military, such as Fluor and Huntington Ingalls Industries, are participating in the SRS expansion. Everything is connected, Clements said. Interconnection between the state and businesses is nothing new in military affairs. The harsh reality is that requirements from the national security strategy comes before the local community wants. The same situation can be found elsewhere in the U.S. They probably spotted us. Can I make a U-turn? Said Karen Pettit after she saw two muscular men carrying automatic rifles, at what appeared to be a security checkpoint, a short distance from the casinos of Las Vegas In the state of Nevada lies a sprawling desert. Petit was taking this report to a mysterious, it's like it was taking this report to a mysterious town where some of the roads leading in are obscured by Google Maps. Mercury in Nye County is located within the Nevada National Security Site, the NNSS, which conducted nuclear tests. Residents are scientists and military officers. Mercury is a closed town where access is strictly limited. Petit works as an assistant school teacher in Las Vegas. The mother of two began developing suspicions about the NNSS 4 years ago and now openly expresses her opposition. So, let me see, it's pretty much talking about, this woman and her dislikes, about it. Which again, people, should be concerned because we're in a time of war, man. We're in that time, so I'm just going to jump down. It says the U.S. Congressional Budget Office estimates that the country will need about $750 billion in the next decade to boost its nuclear capability. A country supposed to be free and open has a government that is not just big but enormous, and ordinary people are drawn into its machinations. They can express objection or criticism, but they cannot easily refuse the construction or presence of nuclear-related facilities. So I spent 3 hours to and from work on a bus. When you did it every day, it's like you will fall asleep within 2 minutes after boarding, said 78-year-old Michael Heiner, who worked for the NNSS for 40 years until 2012. He has vivid memories of a mushroom cloud he saw. It would be a lie for him to say that he didn't feel uncomfortable about doing a job associated with nuclear weapons, but he said he met good friends and colleagues. I'm middle class, but I was able to bring up my 2 daughters. All right, yeah, whatever. I don't care about that, but man, yeah, as you can see, the U.S. is scrambling, man. Babylon is scrambling to get their weapons together because a lot of the missiles that they had were, left over from the Cold War, and they either deactivated them or, the technology is, it's outdated, and that's what they're trying to do. But as you can see, Russia, China, North Korea, they're all catching up. And as we know, it's like it says, America possesses 5,000, which is a little over 5,000 nuclear warheads. Russia is up, next to the U.S., with probably about the same, 5,000 or so nuclear warheads as well, These are the 2 main nations that possess the most warheads, man, because each of these countries, that are either ally or opposition against the U.S. are going to use these missiles, man. There's not going to be one spared. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to start in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 16. And it says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. And yes, that's these nuclear weapons, man, that are being developed. The smith being the scientists that are developing these weapons, man. Because again, we're coming into the time of World War III, where ultimately is going to be, between the United States and Russia. And as we know, Russia is going to destroy America, man. When our Lord Yahweh Shai returns, with the angels, he's just going to add to that destruction, But on a smaller scale, Russia is going to be the one to do it. And as it says, Esau Edom, he's pretty much scrambling to get his arsenal together, but, there's nothing he can do. Even if he does manage to, produce any more warheads. Nothing is going to stop, this land from being destroyed, man, from being utterly destroyed, should I say. So I'm going to go to the book of Job, chapter 20, and I'm going to start at verse 22. And it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So yeah, man, all these other nations are going to seek to put their hands on this man because he's destroyed the earth, man. And he's made these other nations angry. Verse 23, and it says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. So yeah, man, the Lord is only going to allow Esau Edom to get so far with this new world order before ultimately, he, like it says, he cast that fury upon him, man, before ultimately these missiles get launched, because that is what's ultimately going to take place, man. Because as we know, Esau Edom wants to fulfill his new world order, but he won't be able to. Just like it said in the article, well, they plan to have, or China plans to have, 1,000 warheads by 2030, but America doesn't have, 6 years. It's like, the Apostle Tahara coined 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, We're hoping that, this be the year, and if not this year, hopefully next year. But overall, America does not have a long time left, man. It doesn't have 6 years. It barely has, 2 to 3, This man is going down, and these other nations see it. So I'm going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 1. And it says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And yeah, man, all these nations are going to be against America, man. Even America's allies are eventually going to turn on her, and they're going to shoot their missiles over here as well, man. Because America is Babylon the Great. America is that great whore, Verse 3, it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, utterly, it's like you destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So yeah, man, America is going to be destroyed. It's going to be left completely destroyed, man. Nothing will be left in this land, Going to Isaiah 34 is given a vivid description of how America is going to look after this destruction takes place, man. Because that's how devastating it's going to be, And this entire land is going to be engulfed in flames, So I'm going to go to the book of Malachi, chapter 4, and verse 1. And it says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all that do wickedly, yea, and all, it's like you. Let me reread that. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. And yeah, man, nothing is going to be left, man. It's not going to be like, the original Planet of the Apes, where, the Statue of Liberty was, buried halfway in the sand. Like, no, man. Nothing is going to be left, man. This land is going to be completely desolate. Nothing will dwell in this land beside desert creatures, man. Nothing. So, as always, I'm going to get the book of Joel, chapter 2, because again, man, like this the time that we're in. So I'm gonna, start in Joel chapter 2 and verse 1, and as you can see, the terrible visitation says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations." And yes, these are talking about those nuclear missiles, man, because there's going to be so many of them, man. Like, this is the war to end all wars, because like it says, like, nothing like this has ever been seen, and nothing like this will ever be seen again after it, man. Verse 3, it says, "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them." And it's letting you know right there, man. Once these missiles are launched, man, nothing is going to escape, because again, like it says, the land is as the Garden of Eden. Many used to have parts of America, where the land is beautiful, because before Esau, Edom came and, stole this land. This land was actually beautiful, man. It's like King Solomon, used to send his navy over here to bring, apes and turkeys and, gold. Because that's another name for America, Ophir, But these missiles are going to leave them desolate, man. As it says, nothing is going to be able to escape, man. Only the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be able to escape this. It's like you're a little excited. Only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be able to escape this destruction, man. Because ultimately, we need to be delivered. Now, yeah, on a smaller scale, Esau, Edom is going to be the one doing this, but it's going to be the Lord, man. So ultimately, we need the Lord to save us from himself, man. Because again, like it says, nothing is going to escape. The only way to escape, that destruction is to be beamed up, in the chariots. Verse 4, it says, "The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness," man. So, and there's going to be so many of these missiles, man. People are going to see them. They're going to cover the sky, man. And it says, faces are going to gather blackness, man. People are going to be sick to their stomach, because they're going to see their death coming. And there's nothing they're going to be able to do, And then they're going to hear them. Because again, these missiles are going to be shot into outer space. They're going to leave the ozone layer, get their specific trajectory, for their specific target. And then they're going to enter in, through the ozone layer, the firmament, and they're going to come back down to Earth on fire, because their rocket system is going to be propelling them. But they're going to come back on fire because they're going to be traveling so fast, man. And people are going to hear them because they're going to be loud, man. You're going to hear these missiles before they even touch down. Verse 7, it says, "They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways. They shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. Neither shall one walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded." And yeah, man, our brother had pointed this out, and I'm still going to, reference this every time, man. Our brother had pointed this out, the word sword, in this particular verse. says shalach, if I'm saying that right, because I know the word shalach means to send. But definition, man, as you can see it, missile, weapon, missile, man. That's that sword. Go down to the Strong's definitions. It says a missile of attack, man. So, just like, America is also developing, their missile defense system. Like this is what they're talking about, man. When these missiles are shot, they won't bump it to each other. One won't be shot, and they won't bump it to each other. They won't be able to shoot another missile down. They won't explode in midair. Like, no, man. They're going to try to shoot counter missiles, but it's not going to work. Because, again, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be in these missiles, man. So, nothing is going to stop them, once they're shot. Like, that's pretty much it, Verse 9, it says, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. It says the earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble, and the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? So only the elect is going to be able to survive, man. They're going to be the only ones to make it. Because again, ultimately, this destruction is for Esau, Edom. 2/3 of the nation of Israel that received the mark of the beast, they're going to take place in this judgment, and whatever heathen nations are over here, they're pretty much just collateral damage. They don't matter. They're going to die regardless. But, this destruction is ultimately for Esau, Edom, man. So that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Nuti Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say Shalom.